Where do humans actually come from? Let's first trace back to 4.6 billion years ago. With the explosion of a supernova, the primordial sun gradually formed within a massive hydrogen molecular cloud, and the surrounding material also collapsed together, subsequently forming the current solar system. Our Earth also emerged amidst the chaos. The early environment of Earth was extremely harsh, with no traces of life to be found. It wasn't until 3.8 billion years ago that, as Earth's geology gradually stabilized, the surface temperature began to slowly decrease from the initial 10,000 degrees Celsius, allowing water vapor to condense. At this time, water sources continuously irrigated the Earth, and oceans gradually formed. Subsequently, anaerobic organisms began to appear in the oceans. By 2.5 billion years ago, due to a dramatic increase in the oxygen content of the atmosphere and oceans, countless algae began to proliferate wildly, gradually replacing anaerobic organisms. At this time, biological evolution quietly arrived. 540 million years ago, with the Cambrian explosion of life, in just a short span of 20 million years, Earth saw the emergence of countless different species. Here's the key point. 420 million years ago, a type of creature known as bony fish made its first venture out of the water onto land, evolving into tetrapods. To better survive, they gradually evolved into amphibians, reptiles and mammals. However, to this day, many people still do not believe that the ancestors of humans were actually fish. Yet, Darwin's theory of evolution has long been deeply ingrained in people's minds. The theory of evolution states that primates first appeared over 60 million years ago, and unlike the dinosaurs, they did not go extinct due to an asteroid impact on Earth. Having successfully avoided the fifth mass extinction, they not only survived by luck, but also 25 million years ago, primates successfully split into two branches. One evolved into monkeys, and the other into chimpanzees and humans. It is worth mentioning that chimpanzees fell behind 6 million years ago, which is why they ultimately did not evolve into intelligent beings. The reason humans and chimpanzees share a 99% genetic similarity lies in this: 4.4 million years ago. The earliest upright walking ancient humans finally appeared, but large mammals on land posed a threat to them. So they spent most of their time living in trees, however, for survival. They also had to come down to search for food and take care of their young. 3.7 million years ago, the Australopithecus, which evolved from these early humans, began an unprecedented migration for survival. Not only were they unable to fill their stomachs, but they also frequently suffered attacks from wild beasts and various natural disasters. As a result, during this migration, people often fell behind, marking one of the most difficult periods for human ancestors. 2.4 million years ago, Australopithecus finally evolved into Homo habilis, transforming into the dominant species on the African savanna. At this time, human ancestors were already proficient in using wooden sticks, and even more so in using stone tools. The Homo habilis would act together and forage together. Armed with weapons, they were better able to snatch food from other predators, until Homo erectus appeared 1.8 million years ago, which completely determined the direction of humanity. They had no excess body fat, which gave them extremely fast running speeds. Upon spotting prey, they would patiently track it over long distances until they caught up and hunted it down, capturing high-calorie meat, which gradually increased their brain capacity. At this time, they had already gained the ability to coexist through mutual understanding. As the population size continued to grow, following the comfortable climate and abundant food, Homo erectus began to move towards the broader world, gradually spreading human footprints across the continents of Asia and Europe. At this moment, the footsteps of primitive humans finally stepped out of Africa and onto the global stage. From this point, it took only a few million years for later humans. They had already created countless historical miracles, and human civilization will continue to endure until the moment the Earth ends its life. I believe that by then, human civilization will surely be able to bring a perfect conclusion to the Earth.